Day 8. Day 8, and we're a bit late. I did not consider how that rhymes until just now. And I wasn't even going to play anything off of that. Just like, oh, hey, that rhymes. Okay. Yeah, we're a bit late. I hate to say, I think we're going to run this one shorter than the rest. Which, for my grand scheme, is kind of nice, because I realized I piled a bunch of them up after day 6. Days 1 through... yeah, I think it was like days 1 through 6. Total about 13 hours in total to go through. So... you see how much padding can build up over time. So, yeah. But, yeah, with it being late, I don't want to go too late into the day. I'm already tired. And would just stubbornly had myself come in here to do this stream, instead of putting it off until tomorrow. Which would have been smarter. And I might have been able to drag Zodian, but Instead, we're going to do something I was kind of contemplating yesterday, but I didn't realize that the event I thought the event was over. Turns out it's going on until the end of the year. I'll let him take it away.
Thank the Spiral you arrived so quickly. I need a hand with a crisis that could become an epidemic. The Carpe Diem Society gathers here to work on their lessons after classes. A 6-student study group, normally well-behaved. Today, however, one of the students stumbled upon the Book of Lost Pages. This accursed tome is to be locked away at all times. But it was misfiled by my assistant Boris and placed in the open stacks by mistake. When they opened it, the pages were unleashed. Speak to Boris Tallstaff and hear the story of the Lost Pages firsthand, then come back to me.
Lost Pages is going on. I have been missing this one every time it ran for like the last, few years actually. So I figured, hey, let's come together and try this one out over a stream. Since I don't want to push the story on Angel without Zodi, so. Though I am reaching a point whereby we might just finish Angel's progression off solo.
What? I didn't do anything? Well, okay. I guess I did put the Book of Lost Pages out in the main stacks.
Boris, how many voice actors do you have? I'm just out... We have the original one, who you don't hear anymore. Last time I heard him, there was like a Newsies voice. And now we have this one. Don't go hitting me with this. Wiz is almost old enough to drink.
Supposed to know it goes in the vaulted archives and is never supposed to be available to students. I feel bad that the whole Carpe Diem Society was taken over by the book. There are 6 students in the group. Let's see. Kestrel Blackstorm, Taylor Froghead, Carson Sprite Thief, Declan Wormdust, Quinn Legendbreaker, and Bentley Daysong. Once the Book of Lost Pages affected them, they took off. I have no idea where in the spiral you might find them.
I need you to search the worlds of the Spiral and ask around for the missing students of the Carpe Diem Society. Not only has the Book of Lost Pages affected the students, but I'm sure it has had an adverse effect on the denizens of the Spiral. You'll need to search high and low, but I would start in Ravenwood. Simeon is eagle-eyed and may have seen something. You'll also need to search the worlds of Krokotopia, Mushu, Celestia, Avalon, and Azteca, but you'll be on your own for those.
So we can do 2 of them, which I think should get us through. Well, my brain is here. 2008. Who wants to do some math while we go over to Simeon? But 2008. So it's about to be 2026, which means. Oh, Lord. That means Wiz... how do I want to put this? Let's have some dialogue. Well, I think through how I feel about Wiz turning 18 next year. I'm sorry. No, not... Ooh.
The Carpe Society scattered across the spiral. I heard rumors about Krokotopia, Mushu, Celestia, Avalon, and Azteca.
Let's try this one a different way, shall we?
The Carpe Diem Society scattered across the spiral. I heard rumors about Krokotopia, Mushu, Celestia, Avalon, and Azteca. You'll have to look around those worlds to find them. I'm afraid you're on your own for that.
I'm sorry, is this a glitch? Like, he's literally giving us the last 2 lines that Argylston gave us.
The lost pages have affected the Spellwrit Screamers in Triton Avenue. They look weird and are even more dangerous than ever. Those Screamers were already causing problems, but if we don't round up the lost pages, who knows how far the infection will spread? Can you defeat some Spellwrit Screamers and recover the lost page of storms? Bring it back here.
Alright, where do I have my marker? Old Town. Aegon! Well, we're doing side quests.
A real asset to the Order, young wizard. With the Pecron data we've gathered, I believe we're close to some valuable insights. The first thing we need to ascertain is at what point these Pecrons will produce a peculiarity. That'll tell us how imminent the threat really is. Using the data, I've collected several flasks of air highly concentrated with Pecrons. However, I need your help to test out my theory. We need somewhere a little more remote. Just in case, of course. Meet me at Unicorn Park, and we'll find out just how volatile these Pecrons can be.
Well, I guess he's gone forever. Let's go to Old Town. Also, I feel... like... Aegon, you know, from Ghostbusters. Why is... what is going on with Twitch? It says I'm live, then it says we have a problem, then it says... and it's like only a few seconds off from YouTube. Oh wait, hold on, no, I want to go to the other one. But I also like... want some of that cat tail, even though I basically am done finally with that Grizzleheim house. For years. I just need the elixir to finish it off. Spellwrit Screamers are storm, by the way. Yeah. Give me 5 seconds. Do I even have a prism? I have a prism. What do we get? What do you know? Just keep 2 on me just in case. Thankfully, you know, early world, we're only doing 1v1. Except it requires me to beat 10, doesn't it? Crud. So, hey, Wiz is almost 18. You know, that's old enough to drink in, like, every country that is in America. Actually, I don't think that is every country. It's like, there's, like, weird ones where you can... can't drink until you're like 19. But yeah. All that's next year. Right now it's 17. And this is why we keep a spare. Wish I could use the Kraken just for fun. That mist shield went up after my prism. So we're good. I think. No! It went up before the prism, didn't it? Son of a... whatever we want to complain about. Because if... like... I need to review that. Because it should be, if she puts it up now, it doesn't matter. Because the prism is... the prism's older. And traps have a sort of order of operations. Now I don't know how much I trust that, though. What's my... there we go. Let's just stick to this. Small problem. N. Oh, why? Why did I say this was how we were gonna go about this? Like, there were so many better options. Also, I need to heal. Probably should have considered that. That's on me. That's not fun. Sharky! Oh no, snowman. Never mind. Which, by the way, speaking of sharks, apparently that was my most popular clip this year. A clip I did for Zodi. Which was a time we streamed together, but I wasn't live. Because, again, rival streams are like so big. Obviously they could be smaller. But, no, that's not how we work. This is going to be so much quicker when we get to Krokotopia. Actually, you know what I should be doing? I should just change to a more popular realm. At least then, I might run into people. But, let's see. What's there to chat about? After today, there's only about 3 days left to the free membership. So, you know what? Hold on. First, you don't see that in Pirate, now do ya? Crowded my derriere. Sorry, I want to pull up the... I mean, I was literally just looking up the game recently. Let's see... Twitter accounts. Then we have to do the thing whereby you can view it without being logged in, because I haven't touched my Twitter account in ages, and I have no plans on touching it anymore. Geocaster. Actually, there's some interesting stuff in there. Alright. Small heal. Don't go for those. We want the Spellwrit ones. Because we have 6 more to go. Seriously, this is going to be back and forth. Pioneer plush. They're gonna have a plushie on Makeshift again soon. Alright, that's gonna do. Where was it? What? Blah 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 blah. The dice. Dice come with like a 2-week membership. And actually, I so want to get a pair of those. Some of the dice. Because like the one set, full Misty Mountain Gaming is the collab for the dice. And I think it does, no, but it will give me the, yeah, so like you have a couple options, but I think the cheaper of the two is the cooler one. Because like you get these beautiful translucent dice, and it's basic, it's not smoky purple, mind you. But it is purple. And it has like a spiral design on the inside, which is so right for the game. Let's see, when does that end, by the way? Do they have a date when they stop taking orders? I'm not seeing anything. But yeah, apparently you get a 2-week membership, and you get some of the like dice wands, which I would kind of like. Let's see. I was actually scrolling through this, mind you, because I was looking for, because I don't want to say it ends on the 19th. I think it's supposed to end on like the 21st. That worked. Let's see. Where is it? Apparently they've been doing a good bit of maintenance recently. Oh, yeah, that's gonna trigger it. I should have seen that one coming. If I've understood it right. That doesn't feel right, though. Like, I don't know what to tell myself. It's just a thing. And I gotta deal with it. Nope. It looks like the free membership does end on the 19th. So today's stream and Thursday's streams will be the last two we do during that time frame. Why does... It's weird to consider Krampus is like a... So you have all those options in Pirate to fight Krampus. Like, gold... No. Woodstone and the gold keys. But then for Wiz, he's only gold. Weird. I don't know why that is. Don't you dare shield. It's gonna be a shield. Nope. Nope, it's Blade. Okay. Can't complain about that. And we fizzed. I really need to get accuracy gear on Angel. Because if there's anything he needs, it's some accuracy. Like I was saying though. So 3 more days. There's 3 days left on the free membership. So, like, if you've got an account and you want to get through some areas, get through some quests you've been locked out of, now's the time. And it's kind of makes me... I should be okay saying that right now, because this VOD will go up on the 19th, which will be the last day. It will go up on the archive. Like, if you're watching on Twitch, we got this for a whole nother week. This will be up. It will go down before Christmas Eve. Will be the last day it's up. So it won't be up for Christmas. Which, interesting bit about doing the whole Streamas. There has consistently, for the last 2 weeks, been 4 VODs available on my channel. Usually I'm like doing week by week. So it's like the VOD would be up the day of the next podcast, but then go down the day later. But now there's like enough that, yeah, you kind of got options. Ignoring the fact that, like, yeah, no, I keep having to remind myself. Before this stream, we did 2 pirate streams. And that has been like the consistent thing.
As you defeat the last Spellwrit Screamer, you discover a magical page of writing. This must be the lost page of storms.
Anywho, as I was saying. Oh, no. Okay. Well, no. We left the marker at... Yeah, so we should be good. To faff around with the silver chest. Who knows what we'll get? Probably nothing good. Yeah, I was about to say, now which game do we get? Oh, hey, look, a 1. Now, I think the 8's going to be the one it's going to leave us waiting an eternity for. Give me an 8. Just give me an 8. Just a single key's enough. Oh, actually, this one right here. Just a key so I don't have to wait that much, and we can learn to play again. What do we get? What do we get? What do we get? What do we get? Okay, actually not bad. Hey! Spellment that's actually useful for me. Let's go. Alright, so we're gonna update our mark. Because, you know, it's right here. Let's go back to Simeon. I don't know where that rune came from, by the way. Simeon! And we're gonna face you this time because you don't have an animation.
You recovered the lost page of storms? Amazing! How nasty were those Spellwrit Screamers? I'm glad you dealt with them.
Oh, new
Take
quest.
the lost page of storms back to Harold Argleston at the library. I'll keep an eye out for any more Spellwrit Screamers.
Just want some cattail, because I always want cattail. Because you can never find cattail in the bazaar. Ready for Like Central? I'm ready for Like Central. Okay, actually not that bad. Press team up before you enter a dungeon. No thanks, mate. I play solo. Black's string. I wonder. Actually, there's one other thing I'm wondering.
Young wizard, you recovered the lost page of storms. I'll make sure it is properly stored in the vaulted archives. But your work is not yet done. Find Arthur Weathersfield in Ravenwood. Weathersfield will guide you to find Kestrel Blackstorm, a storm student affected by the lost pages.
Well, okay, then. Just back and forth between you and Ravenwood. Might as well have a portal. Insult everybody sitting in the basic courtyard. Mr. Balance!
Oh, Wizard, you have recovered the first of the lost pages. Jolly good.
That was a quest.
You've heard how the Carpe Diem Society has fallen to chaos and lost their sense of self. We need to restore their equilibrium. You'll find a mechanism of balance, Dee's Mirror, in Triton Avenue. I've set it to take you to the hideout of Kestrel Blackstorm. Find Kestrel and do what you must to break the curse that has possessed her. Return to me when you are done.
Okay, well that's simple. Nah, we'll do that later. Since we're done with this quest line. Hey look, Dee's Mirror. I mean, not nuts. Also, I guess it's a 1v1? It's a fight you have to solo. Oh, no, it isn't. The mirror just takes you... Okay. That's the thing. Okay. I haven't done that. Like, I haven't done this in so long. Like, every time it's going on, I'm just not playing. That's the problem. I haven't seen the boxes in years. Like, there's one I'd like to see. Don't mind me. Just, Now it's going to be a bit more complicated because we get 2. Oh no. I'm gonna just pass and throw one on the vampire. Yeah, because I'm like... And they both throw Mist Shield anyway. It's like, you know, I guess it was better I used the vampire. Or, if I'm willing to give up the Animus, I am willing to perform a test. Mayhaps I am misthinking the order of operations. And if I'd use it now that the prism went on after the shield, does it work? Without the shield activating? I don't know, I didn't even get to test it. But at least we all can't seem to hit for our lives. Yeah, I'll just take that one out with the vampire. Because I could do with the heal. No, I can't change that anyways. Oh well. Worst part was that was the one that hit. Though, you know what? We all had a bunch of pips, so. Is it worth it to do this experiment? I think it is. Okay, who all remembers me pointing out can't seem to hit for the life of me? Wow, just no bats today. Hey look, a power pet. Maybe these bats will work. Umpteenth time's the charm. No. So in other words, I am arguably misunderstanding the order of operations here. And shields... gets 2 more turns, I want to just throw the vampire next turn. I'm just thinking... So shields can activate no matter where they are. Well, no, I think that part feels wrong. The prism should still be able to sort of counteract the shield, so like if the shield is older than the prism, and like the examples I'm about to make is very poor.
Have you read the Book of Lost Pages? Come with me through the spiral and I'll show you the great truths.
Spiralize.
No? Then prepare to be storm blasted, intruder!
I don't have that yet. I'm gonna borrow that though. Actually, that's not a bad move. Because they're all using storm attacks. Don't mind me just trying to think about what I'm gonna do. Actually, she only has a rotted Audras. Dare I say let's not even bother with the storm attacks? I guess keep a Kraken in there in case I can get away with it, but... yeah. Yeah. So let's just throw that on her for now, because they can't throw anything threatening at me yet. Yeah. Oh, sorry. So, the example. I forgot to heal. You know, at this point, that just feels part of the course for me. Alright, so we're gonna... we'll take the fodder out next turn. So my very poor example. Okay, yep, so he's throwing him as shield on her. But let's say I was going to throw... let's say I was Myth. And pretend that... oh. Good thing I have a pet who can heal me. That actually is very helpful. Like I was saying. Let's pretend I'm Myth. And she... isn't Storm. Which would, you know, make the example even worse. My understanding dictates that if I were to throw a Myth Prism on her, I don't have to worry about that shield activating because the Myth Prism is newer than the Myth Shield. Okay, yes, I'm gonna have to work. I'm gonna have to work for this one. Let's start by throwing a Phantom to her. The problem with that is I don't think it will give the vampire enough hit. I would have to have a second... oh, okay. Duh, I thought this brought through, Self. Thank you for not paying attention. I see, the last two spells will be the Kraken and... the, Kraken and my last shield. Yeah. I kinda gotta make this work. I mean, not like it doesn't work, it's just I have to sit here for a bit because I need enough pips to throw 2 vampires. But anyways, so... in theory, the Prism is able to bypass the shield. But then kinda you have to keep throwing them and it loses its point. And myth is an interesting one to bring up because, like, old Orithus wasn't like a bad spell. It's just it was misniche, sort of, that they got later on for like later on spells. Wait, why did I even care about the Animus? She isn't undead. Hindsight's 20/20. But anyways, so like spells, how Orithus used to be, and Minotaur are like the big two I can think of because I'm old and I stopped playing after a while. You get like a weak first hit and a strong second hit. Now the problem for that is, it means that traps are rather worthless. Can be kind of worthless to myth. Because obviously you can build up all your traps, but you know, if they just go to that weak first hit, what's the point? So like stuff like that, blades are much more important. But then, you know, everybody's got that strategy, so. But it is nice because having that weak hit would absorb a shield. And assuming there's only one, you get your full hit.
I can't believe I attacked you. I'm so sorry. Those stupid pages cursed me. Can you forgive me?
Bonk. Get me out of here, man! Will it load? Won't it load? Okay, I was worried for a minute it was gonna let me go home.
You managed to free Kestrel Blackstorm of the cursed bonds of the Book of Lost Pages. Very good, young wizard. After a bit of rest and a spot of tea, Kestrel will be right as an adamant.
Alright, there's that out of the way. Now we should be able to do Krok. And, I'm gonna be evil and guilty and finish up that. Because I just... After he went to Unicorn Way, I realized this first quest for the daily assignments is nothing. Like, you get more in the second one, because that's the one where... That's the one where you have to go, like, to Marleybone to actually do a small sigil fight. I was gonna say dungeon, but it's like... Depends on your definition. Like, I think most people with dungeon might lean... Depending on who you are, dungeon might lean towards the, longer ones, like Ironworks and all that. Talking about Marleybone.
Perfect! You're here just in time. You weren't followed, were you? I think there are some who seek to hinder our research. Very suspicious. Where was I, though? Oh, yes, the Pecrons. I'm going to add increasing levels of Pecrons to this cauldron until they produce a peculiarity. You simply need to stand beside the cauldron so your badge can be exposed to it. I'll collect the reading when we're done. All right, here we go. Don't worry, my research indicates these peculiarities are only dangerous under special circumstances. You'll be fine. All right, to start, I'll add 3 flasks of concentrated Pecrons. And nothing. No reaction whatsoever. I thought that would do it. Very well, I'll add just 1 more flask, and let's see how that reacts. Nothing. Oh, perhaps I'm being too cautious. Let me just add the rest of this and see what happens. Great jumping gravity frogs. A peculiarity. It worked. I can't... This is... It's actually extremely dangerous. Stand back. Let me neutralize it. Oh, that was close. Are you all right? Thank the stars. Yes, I know I said it was safe, but I didn't actually think it would work. I apologize. If my research is correct, a peculiarity like that, if it weren't under control, could annihilate half of Wizard City. But let's keep that quiet for now. Come, meet me back in Ravenwood and we can discuss what we learned.
So I think I was saying this earlier. But talk about peculiar... Like... I feel... Name-wise, he's supposed... I feel like he's supposed to be a reference to... Is he supposed to be a reference to Egon for Ghostbusters? My point is, I'm getting like giant Doc Brown feelings from him. Which might just have to do with me doing a rewatch of Back to the Future. We'll get back to that in a minute.
That was exciting, wasn't it? A real-life peculiarity right in front of us! And they said such a thing couldn't exist. We showed them. Oh dear, and look at this. Your badge is glowing pink. Hot pink. That can't be good. I will have to consider the implications of this.
Yeah, don't ask what ink kryptonite does.
We still need more data to investigate these matters further, so keep checking in for your daily assignments. Until tomorrow, then.
Let's leave now. Anywho, what was I saying? The, right, I was talking about Back to the Future, because that can be a conversation piece. Not so much opinions about the movie, it'll be opinions about how to watch the movie. Which we'll get to after Talbot has his lines. Because inevitably we're gonna have to do a couple fights.
Hello there. Are you here to help? We've gotten reports that Spellwrit Stalkers are preying upon any who venture into the Crocosphinx. If you could defeat the Spellwrit Stalkers and find out what's gotten them into an uproar, you'd be doing us proud.
And heck, even Krokotopia feels lively. I don't think we can take the boat to, oh, what is it? I should check to see if my one character has any spell weaving to do. Nope, can't do that yet. Can't do that till after... Not after Celestia, after Dragonspire. Have we taken the entire boat? What's happening to my hats? Like, in the sleeves! I mean, the boots kind of are just in the boat, but... Holy moly! That outfit just went wonky. Just going around, you know. Doing that Sonopolis boat. Actually, nope. Yeah, we're still level 23. He's like, I'm like, oh, that boat. Yeah, because I was... One of the ways I was thinking about getting a Wizstream in without Zodi was doing the Himalayas sort of dungeon. Which is where that boat goes to. But you have to be level 25, and Angel isn't level 25. So we couldn't do that. So yeah. Hey, you can see Selenopolis from here. Oh, that one just feels weird with playing Marvel Rivals and, you know, dealing with Moon Knights. It's a thing. Yeah, the Grand Arena. This is where we're going. Right? Give it a minute. Grand Arena, yeah. Don't know why I'm questioning myself. Everything's ice in here, so we don't have to worry about our dearly despised... Actually, wait, no, they're back over this way by the hub. Not that hub. This hub. See, Sandstalkers. And then there should be some... Like, to an extent, you can't even see the difference. Maybe on another... What? Oh, he spawned on top of me. But they're in just enough of a... Just enough of a ratio, it might still be a headache. Now, of course, these guys are considered Colossus, so I can't use that. There we go. Let's get that Spellwrit one over there and just deal with... It's like a 1-to-4 ratio. And they're only slightly stronger. I might not have packed enough firepower for this one. Oh boy. Also, it looks like they updated the texture. Which, now that I think that makes sense, because they redid Krokotopia. I feel like we had a stream after that. We had a stream at some point whereby I actually looked at the updated Krokotopia. Let's see if a lightning bat can take care of him. Like, I don't think... I'm gonna want to throw Kraken in to deal with the Spellwrit ones. But the regular ones, a regular Storm Shark should be able to deal with. But... I'm right to point out that I don't trust it. I don't know if I'm going to prove myself right here, but... it's too close. I don't trust it. New fist anyways. Calculator. Just use the one on my computer. So, if it does its lowest hit, 245, multiply that by 1.5, only does 330. Yeah. So if that misses its mark, I'm screwed more ways to Tuesday. And thankfully I have a pet who has a good number of heals. Both Fairy and the Energizer Bunny. I mean Energizer. I wonder if that... I don't think... Oh, wow, another one. Okay. I guess that's what I get for making a joke about the Energizer Bunny. I don't... For some reason, I feel like the Franken Bunny is the first pet that did have that trait, though. See, 571, so that's... That is a bit shy to take out the Spellwrit Stalker. So just... No, Blade and Shark, the regular. Blade and Kraken, the Spellwrit. Now, obviously, I want to go Shark on this one because it has the Blade, so it'll get the most boost. But it has the Blade, so Shark being the highest damage gets the most boost. That's just math. One of 10! And again, it's like a... Let's see. Well, actually, let's adjust the deck. So let's keep those in there. Keep one shark. And let's do 2 krakens. You know, maybe we can get lucky. I mean, as they say, we're up all night to get lucky, aren't we? We're up all night, oh, the sun. We're up all night for good fun. Something like that. Here comes... No! If I ever get a soundboard, we're definitely having Jeff noises. I haven't even touched Jeff in a rival stream in a while. No, that's not true. I think I have. Alright, let's see. I have where I can take out that one. This guy's getting us 2. It's the upside. I did not put an extra blade for it. That... Shot myself in the foot there. I put in an extra kraken just in case. Ah, well. Alright. So I don't know how... She might have. So what we'll do is we'll just cast the shield. Assuming that she took over aggro. Actually, it looks like she has the same one. Oh, she's much higher. Nope. Death. Okay. Magus, I think, is like levels 30... No, 40 through 50. Yeah, no, because 50 is Grandmaster, I think. I don't want my DNS server. Alright, I'm 1 off from having enough to crack in that Spellwrit. Actually, she's 1 off from having to get the... to use the Scarecrow. No, Magus. She doesn't have Scarecrow yet. So, depending on if she spent money, she might have Ship of Fools. Sorry, I just want to jog my memory about the level badges. Fronts. No, area fronts. No. Where? Level chart. Hello? I didn't disconnect, did I? Nope, you didn't enter the battlefield, so I should be good. I fizzled, though. So it doesn't... Sick. Maybe the badges page is on. Maybe the badges are in the badges page. Yeah, maybe. I shot myself in the foot. She's gonna do that, so I might as well just throw a shark at it, just so that we know we'll have it. I don't know about that one. Where's the level 1? Level 1. That's level 1. Level. Yeah, I'm never up for those. Also, apparently I have decent health. That's good. Woo! We're on to a fight. Alright. Stormblade me? No title. Oh, titles. There we go. Yeah. So Magus is level 30s. And then it goes Master for 40 and Grandmaster is level 50. I would say ask me how I know, but we keep establishing the reason I know is because I played back when level 50 was the highest level. And I sort of kept up there for a couple years. Alright. I don't know why I keep those bats there. I mean, I do know why I have the bats, but that's besides the point. Man. The siege is, you know, some of this after. Something else. Accuracy of a stormtrooper. Also, that tower shield just bit me. Like, I mean, they're not using these often, but there's why I have the bats. Because next thing I know, this guy has a tower shield on him. And my hit that should take him out doesn't. Don't you dare. Okay. Problem is, they have initiative, so they could throw tower shields onto each other and screw me over. He's gonna do it. If he does it, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm glad that didn't go south. I'm like, I only have one bat. If you so help me, do that. Oh, double pet cast. I'll be. Okay, so we got 2 Spellwrits the last time. Upside. So that put us at 3. This was 4? I want to say this one's 4. Ay, ay, ay. I was gonna say I could use a power pit, but actually I don't really need it. Oh! I'm remembering that topic I was thinking of earlier that I was like, I feel like I dropped a topic. I was throwing that Back to the Future. Because, again, I skimmed through the trilogy. I really could do with the rewatch. I don't remember if it was last month. It might have been October. Something like that. I was at the exchange and got the 4K for the trilogy. And, oh, actually, that's pretty good damage. Yeah, that was only 4. I'm like, am I gonna get the health whips? Eh. Anyway, so I got the 4K. I need to hook up my 4K drive. No, my computer is the thing. So I can take care of that. But also, at that point, I need some storage space. But... You know... Give me a sec. Let's see what streaming services and see... I mean, it's probably on a bunch, because it's a big movie. Film from 1985. That's right, kids. The movie takes place in the... The movie starts in the year it was released. Fascinating. Right, but the point... I just want to see what services it is on. I know you can rent. Yeah, there's like a bunch of them. You can rent it. So. It's on Netflix. So. Yeah, I guess that's the thing. And apparently now Netflix is gonna. What was it? Netflix is buying Warner Bros. Latest in the news, as of stream today, Paramount, the Saudis, and the guy we don't talk about for reasons are backing out from buying out Warner Brothers. Now, do I have opinions about any of the parties involved? Yes, I actually do have strong opinions towards Netflix anymore. Not as strong as Sony. I have way... Sorry, dry throat. I have way worse opinions about Sony. Again, due in part to their mergers of Right Stuff, Crunchyroll, and Funimation. As well as the fact of Aniplex of America, who have had a lot of series that I liked. And try to just... Steam sales are nicer to your wallet than Aniplex of America. Because Steam actually has sales. Alright, let's... Oh no, because the shark would go after that one. That's right. Didn't think this part through. But, yeah, no. Sony... Okay, no, let's be real. Sony definitely gets the bad one because of the way in which they... We can make fun of... The way Sony won the last couple format wars. So... For those not aware, which is, like, at the very least anyone born in the last N-ish years, because now the format war is, like, physical media versus streaming. The format wars is, like, a really old concept in the media market. Where, like, everybody's got their own... Every company's trying to come up with the next big format for media. Around the time I was born, it was VHS and Betamax. And it kind of just feels... Last year I got to deal with the funniness of... Each side of my family was on one side... I didn't... Was on opposite sides. My father's family had Betamax, and my mother's family was VHS. I say do it. But... Okay, that failed spectacularly. And it's just a thing of, like... At that same time, one side was also more affluent. So it's kind of funny to look at it that way. Not like these were cheap formats. But, like, back to the point. When I was born... well, not even. VHS was cement. Oh, hey, we got the pet. I probably could have brought that up. There are... They drop pets basically based off of them. Selves. All these Spellwrit mobs. I think there actually is... Because... Like, you have to fight those guys as part of the quest line out here. So I think there's... You got the Ice Weavers right here. Which is the spiders. Ah, Sandstalkers, right here. Yep, and they have Spellwrits among them. So let's try those. How many more do I have to do? Ugh, 4 more. What's that walking pattern? Let's see if maybe by grabbing this one I can get both of them. I did not. No. Darn it! I literally saw 2 next to him. I'm like, oh, come on, come on. I can get it this time. I can get it. I didn't get it. So, Format Wars. Yeah, so... Yeah, see, by the time I was born, actually, VHS was very much cemented over Betamax. What's much closer at that point would be the birth of disc formats. Which even... Not exactly, because... So by that point... Well, Betamax is going on. RCA has a... has like a vinyl record format. Not Laserdisc, mind you. But it's around that time frame. Let's see. Oh, what is that? Drop another shield. Hopefully we draw a shark. The CED, which is like movies on vinyl record. And then there's like a couple other formats like that. Because I think there's like one that... I don't want to describe it like a floppy disk, but it's like a movie cartridge. But getting back to it, around the time I'm born, really, you start to get into... You have Laserdisc out. What are these draws? They have like 1 shark. Laserdisc. CDs. DVDs. Which, when you start saying it like that, it sounds like made-up words. I forget what the DVD fought with. But the big one in my lifetime, which I wasn't even aware of, was Blu-ray versus HD DVD. And in the end, what made Blu-ray win was that the PlayStation 3 had a built-in Blu-ray player. And funnily enough, was kind of one of my big reasons why I wound up buying a PlayStation 4 when I did. Was because the PS4 just had a built-in 4K player. And this actually kind of allows me to segue into like an interesting conversation I love having, which to an extent relates to the let's see if the other Spellwrit spawns here. So I think we might be able to get him. Where is he? Come on. I just need a Spellwrit over here. No? Not going to spawn him? I'll get this over here, but spawn the bugger! Hey, oh, yes, yes, yes! Anyway, so like one of my favorite conversations to have, which was actually like I started writing an opinion piece that I wanted to put on the main channel. On the YouTube channel. Which is basically the Steam machine in general. And it's sort of like they're not advertising it. I shouldn't say they're not advertising. They are it's veritably advertised as a console. For all Valve is trying to make it sound like it's not. Also, what the is going on with Twitch is being weird on their end. Anyway, Steam machine. Most of us, I feel, a lot of people see it as a console, though. And to that, there's a point of the like conversation I can get really. I shouldn't even say that because I mean we're getting caught up here and there, but sort of the role a console plays in the home media center. So like, obviously, in the modern day and age, consoles are gaming systems. I think most of us will do a no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We play games on the console we hook up to our TV. I don't, because I don't have a console, but technically I do. That's... And like, I mean, there's another thing. Difference between a console and like a Roku's Apple TV's NVIDIA Shield. Well, actually, okay. The Shield would probably be an interesting one in and of itself, just because that one's sold by NVIDIA sort of as like a front end to GeForce Now, which is game streaming. But now we're getting streaming boxes. Woo! 9 out of 10. Let us get 10 out of 10. See, this is why I basically writing that opinion piece with this Steam machine, because it's the process of getting your thoughts organized there. So I'm like, oh, consoles and streaming boxes. But, well, no. Because the point to be had there is about the purpose each one serves. The streaming box, in a way, is more stripped down of what the console can do. Because every console can be a streaming box. Now that we have... Can be a streaming box since, what? The 2010s? Let's see... Shark. Yeah, since, like, the Xbox 360 and the PS3, every console is capable of being a streaming box, because even, like, the Wii, on the Wii, you could... Oh, crud. I only have 10 mana right now. This fight could get interesting. But, like, even on the Wii, the original Wii, you could have Netflix. Yeah, now it wasn't as simple as, like, PlayStation 3 or the Xbox, whereby it was pretty much an app you could download off the internet to have on the console. I think Netflix, you had to, like, have, like, a game disc for the Wii. Oh, boy. I can only afford... Actually, if it uses a tower shield, I can't afford a fizzle. But... So, like, taking my PlayStation 4, for example. Compare that to my Apple TV. Apple TV, I have to download all the apps for all the streaming services. And that's about all I can have on it. If I want a game on it, well, my options are the Apple Arcade, which is a subscription service, and something like RetroArch, whereby I can upload game ROMs and play some classic games.
As you defeat the last Spellwrit Stalker, you discover a magical page of writing. This must be the lost page of Frost.
Alright, real quick, before we leave, where is that? I don't know where the mirror is. Well, is the hallway over here? I don't know. But it's probably somewhere over there. Or actually it might be over there. Let's just... Not enough mana. I'm gonna need a blue orb. Don't you dare, don't you dare, don't you dare. Oh, nope, I do have enough now. Cool, and I can restock and... on there. But... yeah, I'll wait till after the dialogue.
You found something called the Lost Page of Frost? That must have been what possessed the Spellwrit Stalkers. Nasty business. Ah, so you were looking for the Lost Page of Frost. Handy that. Why don't you take it back to Harold Argleston at the Ravenwood Library? I'm sure he's up to the task of keeping it safe.
What is this questline? Jeez. So, now by comparison, the PlayStation 4, as we've sort of previously pointed out in the conversation, big starting point, has a built-in 4K Blu-ray player. I think it was the same thing for the Xbox One, which was its counterpart. And then with, like, the new generation, I don't believe there is a player option on the Xbox Series S. Don't quote me on that. I'm not even interested in consoles anymore, funnily enough. Like, I got the PlayStation 4, and the biggest thing I decided was, okay, but I'm so limited on this, I'd rather just have a PC. Because with Steam, I'd rather be able to start my game on my PC and maybe pick it up on the console if I'm playing on the want to play on the console.
The Lost Page of Frost? Good job. I have prepared a spot in the vaulted archives for these errant pages. Now find Arthur Weathersfield in Ravenwood and ask about Taylor Froghead, the ice student cursed by the Lost Pages.
And then, okay, just continuing that real quick. The PS5, your disk drive is entirely optional, because at this point, all games delivery, this point in time, like, all games delivery is just digital download. That's a separate conversation, though.
I heard through my contacts that you have recovered the lost page of Frost. Tip-top! The Carpe Diem Society delved into a book that should have been off limits, and now they are running amok. I've set a mechanism of balance, D's mirror, in the Krokosphinx. Use it, and it will take you to Taylor Froghead. Try to talk Taylor out of her fever, but you may have to duel her to break the curse. Return to me when you are done.
So the big thing about the optical drive to me is, of course, I own physical media. I have owned stuff like that since I was born. Oh, right. We need mana first. Let's play a quick minigame. By now, at the same time, it's like the reason why the PlayStation 3 helped Blu-ray win its format war. Oh wow, I'm like out of potions too. Let's take a while to talk about this stuff then. Was because it was built in, whereas for HD DVD, by contrast, that was a separate module for the Xbox 360. But it's like having that built-in media drive to your game console, as I would put it, emphasizes the role it plays as like a segment, part of the media center in your home. So it's like, it's a piece you hook up to your TV, like... Oh, what's wrong with it? Like the stream boxes we're mentioning, I was talking about earlier, with the whole... Roku's, Apple TVs, Fire TVs sort of shtick. Changed last minute on me. I think that gets us close enough. But the actually, I think I'm losing the plot here. So the reason why I bought the PlayStation 4, as mentioned, was because it had a 4K Blu-ray player. And by buying that, I basically get the 4K player and a game console at the same price. Which is not a bad deal. Oh, no. It's not gonna work. I'm done. Oh, those corner ones get me. Oh, actually, no, we weren't bad. Sorry, I'm just, like, completely ignoring the conversation I started. But so, in that way, a console does work a lot better. No, now I'm really feeling like I completely lost the topic of the conversation I was on. Nice. Where I need to attend. And I think we should be good enough to just close out and finish. That fills up the potion. Maybe? We're like maybe a tip off. Come on. We'll just play the first level. And then I remember that this is the first level. What am I doing? Woo! What? Didn't even give it to me. What a rude game. I'm like, I just want to do one level so I can get that little top off. But now, guess we gotta do level 2. Which is gonna be a bit fun because we have to do both of these. There we go. And once we finish this off, we should have enough to finish it off. That was unnecessary, but... Alright, so let's try and work our way back with that conversation. So... with the Steam machine... at the very least, with the Steam machine, the way most people, like me, are... we're not really looking at it as a gaming console. Like... oh. Okay, let me rephrase that. We're looking at it as more of a gaming console than a PC. Like... I made a remark on one of Craft Computing streams. Well, podcast episodes. That, yeah, no. The Steam machine is not the PC I use to stream. Like, you probably could. But not what I do. Which is, you got the stream, but then you also have like 4K VOD. This more. Voila. But, you know... oh, hey, that's actually kind of cool. 0 point in the center, you got these corner pieces. No, it's not something you're gonna use for, like, big-time streaming. But it is something you can play games on. No questions asked. Alright. Interesting. But also, it offers itself up to, like, a console-like experience. Wherein... So we just went from ice to storm. Interesting. I don't know what I'm trying to stop myself from. I already know the deck's built out for this. If... Okay. See, now this is the part where my comparison kind of hits a wall. Because there's an interesting caveat here which isn't explicitly a problem on consoles, but kind of is. The streaming element of it. Because obviously everything you can do on a console, you can do on the stream machine. Except stuff like 4K Netflix. That you can't do. And that one's more of a browser thing, really. Like, Netflix does not support streaming 4K on browsers. So it's like you have to have the apps. But, I mean, at that same time, I would question it with consoles too, because you have stuff like the Plex app for PlayStation 4, which is just a browser. And so, even though I have a Plex server, I can't really watch most of the stuff because it wants to transcode. So, and I don't think you can go into the technical specs to confirm whether or not Netflix actually does do 4K on a, like PlayStation or that. So, okay, there's like a caveat. But the thing is, with the Steam machine though, well, you have your part that I was talking about earlier, whereby, you know, the biggest gripe I have with consoles is I can only play it at the console. And this was actually something that came up in something that I put into the opinion piece I was writing regarding the Steam machine. And that's how consoles are a locked down experience, almost like, pretty much like your phone. Like, well, I mean, a lot of people use Apple as the example, walled garden sort of thing. But the Apple walled garden is different from how consoles work, is the thing. Because the Apple walled garden, it's not just the iPhone. It's the iPhone, it's the Mac, it's the iPad, the Apple Watch, the Apple TV, HomePod. They're all part of an ecosystem and they work together. Whereas the PlayStation isn't really part of an ecosystem in that same regard. It doesn't have devices that it explicitly works together with, besides being plugged into your TV. It's locked down. And, you know, it's like you get into the operating system. If I buy a copy of a game for my PlayStation, I only get it for that version. Like, I realized with the Switch, now that the Switch 2 is out, granted, like, you can buy games and have it for both the Switch and the Switch 2. That's kind of nice. But digital doesn't exactly work that way with PlayStation and Xbox. We're gonna have a dialogue.
Are you ready to face the sweeping blasts of winter? You'll find no joy here, wizard, until you read the lost pages and submit.
That should do us. But it's like... And like, if you do buy a disc, again, you're limited to that console. The thing that I love about Steam is... You know... Yes, I buy a game on Steam. Yes, in theory, I'm limited to only playing it on Steam. Technically, there are workarounds. Shh. We don't talk about that stuff, though. But... You know, if I buy it on Steam, well, I have access to it on Windows, Mac, and Linux. And if I want to use the compatibility layers, I can do it on BSD. I have the options on PC, which I don't have on the console. I'm locked into that console. On PC, I'm not really locked into an operating system unless it's something like Ubisoft, whereby they force me to use their launcher. And at that point, it just becomes tricky, and, you know, at the end of the day, if it's a live service game, they might take it down. Yeah. But most general games, especially indie games... No, I say go for it. Actually. Yeah, let's just do that. Bit overkill, but eh. As long as we get rid of the spider. My games don't expire when Windows updates. They can't, but, you know, just go to Linux. It's surprisingly good. Which one was that? Okay, they shouldn't be able to take me out next turn anyways, so I can heal myself. There is no PC2 to invalidate my copy of the game. Only, hey, we aren't running the server that game was running on anymore, which for most indie games isn't a thing. So that's my lockdown gripe. Wait, which trap was that? They're both 40. But... So pretty much the big thing with the Steam machine is like, you know, so long as the machine's running, you can keep it hooked up to your TV, and it doesn't exactly go obsolete. I mean, it kind of does to an extent, because hardware, you know, it's not going to be top-of-the-line 4K gaming for playing Cyberpunk in 4K. No, that's not what it's going to be, because it's like 6 Stream Decks, and the Steam Deck isn't the be-all, end-all for playing games. but it's a less lockdown experience for home use. And now that I'm thinking about it, there is one point I am missing out, which I think does emphasize where exactly the Steam Machine does play for like people like me, which is why I kind of have a lot of the opinions I have. I mentioned Plex, and to an extent we can bring up Jellyfin. Oh, great, those things again. I like how... Twitch, okay. As I mentioned, the Plex app for PlayStation 4 is just a browser. So that means it's like quite limited in what all I can do. But by contrast, when the Steam Machine ships, there's a dedicated Plex app for Linux. Like, the community has already put together a flat pack for it. So there's no worry there. And that one doesn't need to worry about the transcode. The Steam Machine will more than likely support playing AV1 content with lossless audio. From a home media server. And like, there's another point that came up in my opinion on the Steam Machine. Also, I hate that she got that tower shield in there. This probably could have. That could have, if it wasn't for the tower shield. Thankfully, I'm sitting on like a lot of pips, so hopefully I don't die. Hopefully Jeff can take care of her. Jeff! This is 110% do or die. Like, if that's a snowman, I'm done. Ah! And that could have been worse. Still half of what health I had left. And my pet is providing no support now. Wait, what do you mean resist?
What just happened? Your spells make my body ache, but soothe my soul. Thank you for freeing me.
Okay. Nothing to see there. Yes, at the end of the day, I should get around to doing that video, because it'll be more succinct there than it is me saying it on stream, and trying to keep the conversation going.
You talked Taylor Froghead out of her fever? Oh, you broke her curse in a duel? Well, that works too. I'll get Taylor a frozen custard to settle her nerves. She'll be right as nails soon enough.
Okay then. So that is 2 of them out of the way. Obviously, Angel can't go any further with the quest line right now because the next world is Mushu, followed by what? I think Mushu as Avalon and then Azteca, So this is going to be out of his scope for a few streams. But with that out of the way, this is pretty much around where my ending point was planned to be. So thank you everybody for coming along. Sorry about the whole kind of getting rambly there. It's like I had my thoughts organized in the writing, but obviously your thoughts look better on paper instead of like openly talking about them, constantly trying to like listen to yourself, see where you can improve upon them and all that. But anywho, thanks everybody for coming along. As always, I've been me, you've been you. I'll see you next time.